Yeah, you can start now. Start. Korechen. Okay. So today's our topic is individual learner differences in second language acquisition. So there are some contents we'll talk about individual learner differences, and there's some things those are affecting second language learning, and also we'll talk about the role of formal instruction and nature versus nurture in second language acquisition as well. So people learn second language in different ways and different speeds. They are called individual learner differences, or in short ILDS. So ILDS affects how well and how fast someone learn new languages. So there are some factors, for example ages. It refers to the impact of learning age and language acquisition. Then we'll talk about motivation, the driving force behind the desire to learn, and also attitude. It's learner feelings toward the language and learning process. Personality, individual characters that influence learning style, different approach student use to learn. Another one is intelligence, varieties of cognitive capabilities affecting learning. And we'll also talk about aptitude, which is natural abilities that influence success and language learning. And there is the last one thing is anxiety, the emotional response. Okay, first of all we'll talk about age. So in second language children learn naturally and speak with good pronunciation. So on the other hand, adults learn grammar and vocabulary faster and find accent easier. So can you see the difference between these two, how adult and how children learn the languages? Okay, for example, a child speaks fluently while adults write better. For example, in case of child, they're so fluent, but he or she can't write better than the adults. Adults, in terms of writing, adults write better. Okay, now we'll talk about motivation. The reason why someone learns a language, that's called motivation. So strong motivation helps you better understanding and better progress. And in case of integrative learning, it's learning to connect with people and culture. And other thing is instrumental, learning for goals, for example exam or jobs. For example, you are learning for getting a good certificate, right? Getting a good CGPA, then the certificate, right? So those are the things. Now we'll talk about attitude. So there are two kinds of attitude. One is positive and other one is negative attitude. So positive attitude helps you to learn fast, and negative attitude, it's the progress becomes slow actually. Example, enjoying English movies helps improve learning. There are some people who love to enjoy movies, and there are some people who actually watch movies to build their fluency or accuracy. Now we'll talk about personality. So personality affects classroom participation. And for example, extrovert, there are two kinds of people, extrovert, introvert, and extrovert. So extrovert people talk more and enjoy group work. There are some people who are very extrovert and they actually enjoy group activities and pair activities and something. In case of introvert people, prefers reading and writing, and confidence helps learner take risk and participate. Yeah, come. So learning style, there are three kinds of learning style. You can see visual learning style, auditory, and kinesthetic. So who can tell me what is kinesthetic? What's the meaning of kinesthetic? Learning by doing, you can see it here, right? So what is kinesthetic? It's bodily. Can you see me how I am performing? Body gesture, posture, that is called kinesthetic. So visual, there are mainly three kinds of learner. One is visual learner, learning by seeing. They like to watch videos, right? Through videos they learn lots of things. And auditory learners, learn by listening, and kinesthetic, learn by doing something. Okay. And intelligence, it's very important. I have a sheet. So there are 8 kinds of intelligence here. You can see verbal, visual, musical intelligence, then logical or mathematical, interpersonal, intrapersonal, kinesthetic, and naturalistic. Yeah, there are 8 kinds of intelligence. You can see Howard Gardner, he invented 8 kinds of intelligence. Those are all those things. We'll talk about that later. Then we'll talk about aptitude, anxiety. So aptitude, it's a natural ability to learn, not language, learn something. Aptitude means natural ability to learn something, but in case of second language acquisition or language acquisition, it means natural ability to learn languages. So some people learn grammar or words quickly, while others needs more time and practices. Efforts and motivations are more important than talent here. And also anxiety. Anxiety, what's the meaning of anxiety? It's nervousness, right? Sometimes you're nervous or shy or anything. So it's high anxiety stops learner from speak fluently. Sometimes you become shy, right? You are shy. That's why you can't speak fluently. Friendly and supportive classroom reduce anxiety. Okay, that's very true. Example, group games helps nervous student. আমি যদি আপনাদের গ্রুপ অ্যাক্টিভিটিস করতে দিই, আপনার নার্ভাসনেসটা অনেকাংশে কেটে যাবে। কারণ কি, আপনারা 4 জন বা 5 জন মিলে একটা গ্রুপ করছেন, গ্রুপে আপনারা যদি একসাথে বসে থাকেন, আপনারা ডিসকাস করতে পারেন একটা টপিক নিয়ে। যখন আপনারা ডিসকাস করবেন টপিক নিয়ে, দেখবেন যে আপনাদের মধ্যে শাই ফিল বা নার্ভাসনেসটা থাকছে না। তো দ্যাটস কল্ড মানে অ্যাংজাইটি অর হাউ টু কীভাবে অ্যাংজাইটিটা আসলে মানে দূর করতে হয়। So in terms of conclusion, every learner is unique. No single method fits everyone. So there are lots of methods to learn a language. Teachers should understand these differences. Learners should know their strengths and how to improve them. Now we'll talk about the role of formal instruction. So what's formal instruction? I talked about this thing earlier. What is formal instruction? Who can tell me? What is formal instruction? Okay, it refers to how classroom teaching means it's I talked about acquisition versus learning, remember? So formal instruction is classroom learning. Okay, for example, grammar lessons, practice and feedbacks helps in second language learning. It's about nurture. Nurture means in classroom setting how you are learning languages. Okay, so for example, a student learn English grammar rules in class, that's formal instruction. Okay, so another student speak up English by living in an English speaking country, that's formal learning, not natural exposure. That's very important topic. Nature versus nurture. So nature versus nurture debates one of the oldest and most important questions in the study of language learning. It tries to explain how humans acquire language. Nature and nurture talk about how humans learn language in formal setting and also in subconscious process or conscious process, remember. So whether it happens naturally due to biological ability, it's nurture, and because of environment, experience and teaching, it's it's nurture, and other one is nature. Natural view. So have you heard about language acquisition device? Anyone? In our brain we have language acquisition device. Do you know that? Though it's not okay, জিনিসটা এমন যে আসলে মানে Noam Chomsky talks about we have a language acquisition device in our brain, but that's not really true. I don't really talk about it. So ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ অ্যাকুইজিশন ডিভাইস, সে আমাদের বলেছে যে আমাদের ব্রেনে একটা ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ অ্যাকুইজিশন ডিভাইস আছে, ওইটার মাধ্যমে আমরা ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজটা শিখি। ঠিক আছে, যদিও এটার উপর অনেক ক্রিটিসিজম আছে, অনেকে বলেছে এটা আছে, অনেকে বলছে এটা নেই। ঠিক আছে, এইটা আসলে সায়েন্টিফিক্যালি প্রুভেন জিনিস না। ঠিক আছে, ওকে। So all humans are born with built-in system for language learning, language acquisition device. So this system helps children recognize grammar patterns in any languages. That's why children everywhere learn to speak their first language easily, even without formal teaching. Without formal teaching, they learn the language naturally. So what is it? It's acquisition or it's learning?
Without teaching,
acquisition. Very good. So the brain is pre-wired for languages. That means we have a language acquisition device in our brain. Example, a child growing up in Japan learning Japanese automatically by hearing around them. So it's acquisition or learning? Acquisition. Very good. On the other hand, the same child, if raised in France, would naturally learn French. The brain adapts the input in receiving. So it's acquisition or learning? It's Why learning? No. It's also natural. Why it's not natural? It's also a natural ability. So it's acquisition. It's not learning. So nature view. Nature view means we are talking about acquisition, not learning. In SLA, nature supporters believe that second language learning also depends on these inborn abilities, and learners use their natural language faculty to acquire grammar meaning and not even explain that are not even taught. Now, in terms of nurture views, so what do you think? What is nurture view? One is acquisition and one is learning. Now we will talk about learning. Main idea, the language is learned through experience, environment and interaction. Remember, it's learning, not acquisition, not something we are born knowing. So B.F. Skinner, a behaviorist psychologist who believed language is learned through imitation. So what's the meaning of imitation? Copying thing. Okay, imitation, practice and reinforcement. So do you know what is reinforcement? There are two kinds of reinforcement, positive and negative reinforcement. For example, এখন আমার বাচ্চা একটা কথা বলছে, আমি ওকে যদি প্রেইজ করি সেটা হচ্ছে পজিটিভ রিইনফোর্সমেন্ট। এখন ওকে আমি যদি বকা দিই তাহলে সেটা নেগেটিভ রিইনফোর্সমেন্ট। ওকে, সো ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ লার্নিং depends on exposure, practice and correction. Positive and negative reinforcement, correction. The environment plays the biggest role. Learners copy what they hear. Teacher, parents and society helps shape the language, learner's language. Repetition and feedback helps learner improve. For example, a student learn English by repeating phrases, listening to songs and being corrected by teachers. So what is it? Acquisition or learning? We are talking about learning here. So the more they hear, they use English, the better they become. Okay, now we'll talk about the comparison. I don't really need to talk about this one. Okay, you can just take a picture, or you can just I'll provide the slide for you, don't worry. So the modernist view, a combination of both. The combination of both means nature and nurture both are important for language learning. Today, most researchers believe both nature and nurture works together in language learning. The brain proves the ability to learn language, it's nature, and the environment, practice and teaching provides the input needs, it's nurture. Without exposure, even a naturally gifted learner cannot learn a new language. So in second language acquisition, nature explains why some learners easily grasp grammar and pronunciation. They have strong natural aptitude. On the other hand, nature explains how learning happens through exposure, practice and formal instruction. A successful SLA classroom combines both nature and nurture both. So nature it's a language part of human biology, it's innate ability, and other one is language is learned through environment and experience and practice. So that's all. You can just